This is the newest tram line in Warsaw. It opened on the 29th of October 2024. I already made a video about this tram line a couple moons ago, but I made that video during its construction. Now it's open. This line is 7.5 kilometers long and runs through the neighborhood Sielce, Sadyba, Stagny and Błonia Wilanowskie. Everyone says this tram line goes to Wilanów, and yeah, it does, but barely. This line has 13 tram stops and only 3 of them are in Wilanów. The rest are in Mokotów. This is how much of this line is actually in Wilanów. It also shows you how much of Wilanów remains tramless. This line is being served by lines 14 and 16, and when the Stagna branch opens, line 19. Line 16 is weird because every second route is shortened to Muranowska, but Muranowska doesn't have a tram loop or side tracks. These bi-directional trams just stay on the main tracks for 4 to 8 minutes, then use this newly built crossover to get on the correct track. What's weird is that they still might build a tram loop here by 2028. Out of all places to build a tram loop, you picked here. Okay. These bi-directional trams are the Hyundai Rotem 140N. I have a love-hate relationship with this tram because it's 2 times longer than an articulated bus, but it has 2 times less seats than an articulated bus. I mean, yeah, less seats, more standing space, but what if your legs are tired or something? This is the terminus of the new tram line, Branickiego, named after the street Branickiego, which is named after the guy, Adam Branicki. And that guy was named after Young Nerdia. It's not called that anymore. It's called Miasteczko Wilanów, which means small town Wilanów. The tram stop is named after this neighborhood. Looking at a map of Wilanów, the neighborhood looks tiny, and is tiny, but it contains around 35% of the population in Wilanów. Wait, wrong way. This is where the tram line might be extended to Konstancin Jeziorna. Keyword might. I would love an extension there, but there are a couple of problems. Problem 1, there's not enough space at this intersection for the tracks to continue and still have 3 tracks for lines 14 and 16 to terminate. Well, technically you can do something like in Metro Wierzbno, but that only has 2 tracks. You need 3. Problem 2, once this road, well not this road, that road reaches Konstancin Jeziorna, is where the tram line would have to stop, because there is no space for tram lines further south. Thanks to the 14 and 16 tram line, line 519 has been shortened to Metro Wilanowska. It previously terminated in the center of Warsaw, but line 16 takes care of that now. And the 522 line is... I don't know how to tell you, so I'll just show you. The 501 bus line will also be terminated, but after the Stagna branch opens. But when will the Stagna branch open? Cool. Speaking of, let's see how progress looks like on that branch. BRB. You can finally see what's going on. And there's absolutely nothing going on. Kinda underwhelming. There used to be a bus loop here with 2 platforms. I would check which bus lines terminate here, but I forgot to bring my time machine. Silly me. This tram loop will be named after the neighborhood it's located in, Stagna. And I'm pretty sure this neighborhood is named after a village near the coast of Poland, Stagna. This can't be a coincidence. This neighborhood is known for these tall and very old apartment blocks. Imagine the elevator breaks or something. Well, at least this is an actual tram loop instead of whatever this is. The tram loop will have 2 tracks for the 2 I give about this place. In the future, this branch will be extended to PKP Służewiec through some important hubs like Wilanowska and Rondo Unii Europejskiej. One thing I don't like about this future extension to PKP Służewiec, it completely overlaps the M4 line. Then what's the point? Back to miasteczko Wilanów. This 3-track, 1 platform is kind of weird and I like it. This track layout is also nice. It's probably one of the most complicated terminus stop, probably. While on the tram, you can hear some tram announcements, not by Tomasz Knapik, but his son, Maciej Knapik.
Miasteczko Wilanów.
The 14 line runs from here to Banacha, allowing an easy transfer to the M1 line at Politechnika. The tram line runs every 8 minutes during peak times, 12 minutes off-peak and 15 minutes weekend. Line 19 will have the exact same frequency when it opens in 2025. Line 16 is the main line and brings passengers from Wilanów and Mokotów to the very center of Warsaw. The frequency is 4 minutes peak, 6 minutes off-peak and 7.5 minutes weekends. Why the 0.5? Couldn't you just round it out to 8 or 7? If you're asking why is it so dark, it's because this is the last part that I'm recording. I'm going home now. The video continues. In the Mokotów part of this tram line, trams run as often as 2 minutes during peak. That's more often than the metro. Think about that for a second. Well, I'm actually lying to you. It doesn't run every 2 minutes during peak. At least not yet, because line 19 still hasn't opened. According to this presentation, the capacity has increased 3 times thanks to these trams, because of the higher frequency of these trams and because trams can hold more people than an articulated bus. These numbers are a bit off though. An articulated bus can hold around 170 people and the Hyundai Rotem trams can hold around 240 people. Don't ask where I get my sources from. Time for statistics. On the first day this tram line opened, around 75,000 passengers used lines 14 and 16. On the first week, 500,000 passengers used these lines. That's absurd. Now, which line is more popular? Well, pretty sure this answer is obvious. Line 16, because it goes to the very center of Warsaw and it runs twice as more often than its brother, line 14. The split is around 75% of passengers go on line 16 and 25% of passengers go on line 14. Now, which stops are the most popular? At first place, it's Centrum with 62,000 passengers. I wonder why. Maybe science will evolve one day so we can solve this mystery. At second place, it's Metro Świętokrzyska with 44,000 passengers. Not surprised. I mean, this is where the M2 and M1 lines connect. At third place is miasteczko Wilanów, then Świętego Bonifacego, Dolna, Oś Królewska, Świątynia Opatrzności Bożej, Nałęczowska, Sobieskiego. Sobieskiego? It's here that the tram platforms are on opposite sides of the intersection. I wonder if there's an actual reason for this. Anyways, this is where a lot of bus lines run. A lot. A good amount of these bus lines are going to the metro station Wilanowska. This is where the people coming from miasteczko Wilanów could transfer to the M1 line, then go to the center, or just not leave the tram. That's easier. But which way is faster? That's the question. But I don't have a stopwatch with me. Anyone got one? I think I found one. This should work. Wait, why is the time going backwards? I guess going through Wilanowska is faster. Now how is that possible? This is also the best place for a thumbnail shot. Soon, and by soon I mean in 26 years, the M4 line will have station here, making this tram line useless. I'm joking. Mangalia. I stopped here to show you how beautiful the platforms are. Okay, maybe beautiful isn't the right word here, but it's definitely brand new and clean. Now compare this platform to... Actually, there's not a single ugly tram platform. That's how well Warsaw maintains their tram stops. Remember this tram stop from that video? This place is unrecognizable now. They forgot to build the tram stop at this intersection towards Stagna. Or did they? What I mean is, does this place deserve a tram stop? Let's see. This intersection is made out of 3 roads. Sobieskiego, the road where the tram runs, Sikorskiego, and Aleja Witosa. There are 8 bus lines at this intersection, and there are 2 that you can't transfer from the tram without walking a bit. The 148 from the shopping airport to Wiatraczna, and the 402 which goes from nowhere to nowhere else. So maybe this place doesn't deserve a tram stop. Well, whatever I say, it's not up to me. I would go to Shelce, but I already went in that video. So if you want to hear my opinion about that branch, you know where to go. Spacerowa looks different now. I mean, the road is still under construction, but it just feels different. I don't know how to explain it. By the time this video gets uploaded, this information will already be outdated. But on the 11th of November 2024, there will be a historic tram running ironically on the newest tram line from miasteczko Wilanów to Shelce. This is where our journey ends, Goworka. This is where line 11 runs to Shelce and maybe Małe Siekierki in the future. That extension would be great for the people of Siekierki, and it would allow a good transfer to the M3 line when it opens in 15 years. A lot of these trams are going to miasteczko Wilanów. Well, I would hope so. There are around 20,000 people living there. Right now, this tram intersection is basic. There are a million tram intersections that look exactly like this. Aleja Zieleniecka, Kijowska, Dworzec Wileński. In the future, this intersection will be much more complicated because of this tram line connecting these 2 existing lines. These 2 intersections are so close to each other, you just can't make it less complicated and not cause traffic. This tram line is just a tiny piece of a much larger tram line connecting Mokotów, Ochota, and Wola through Warsaw West. This is how the stop under Warsaw West will look like. You can kind of see the progress on the tunnel on Google Maps. This is how the entire line will look like. Your reaction to this is probably, damn, that's crazy. And that was my reaction too. I'll talk about the future tram line in a future video coming in 2027. Alright, my final thoughts about this tram line. I think it's really cool. These stops are brand new. The trams are really quiet. I thought the Stagna branch would be open by now, but I'm mistaken. But it's so crazy for me that a tram line this long has opened. When was the last time that happened? One problem is that the trams are still pretty full. You can look at the tram behind me. A lot of people are standing. If someone from Wilanów or Mokotów could write in the comments what has changed with the new tram line opening, that would be awesome. Well, that's the end of the video. Stay tuned for the next video coming out in 5 years.